Hey, what's up everybody? BDO 44 coming at you with another video. Alright, so report says that Dillon Brooks is looking for $12 million a year in free agency. And I think that that's a very, very generous price for him, to be honest with you. I think he's worth more than that. I really do. Now, I know he's coming off of embarrassing offseason. Give me 40, all that disrespect. It's kind of more or less, I think, taken into that price tag. Probably more so maybe than it even needs to. I know he's been bricking a lot of shots, and he's a very aggressive offensive player who doesn't find himself being very efficient. But his defensive prowess and the things he brings to the table, coupled with the success, playoff success of the team over the course of several years, and being a good enough team to get to the playoffs, with his piece being a big part of it, he really just started taking on the, butt of everybody's jokes just over the last course of, 6 months. Before that, he was a very serious player on a serious team. So for him to be looking for 12 mil, there should be a lot of teams that should be looking to be takers on that. I don't know if his confidence is completely shot, but if he can come back with any sort of respect for himself, his game will translate to him being a good defensive player and a willing offensive player. So I don't think that's a bad contract for anybody. I don't think that's a bad contract for anybody. Now, I don't know how many years he would be asking for in this situation. That might determine how well you think this contract will ultimately be. But him at 12 mil, there should be a lot of takers. There should be a lot of takers. And so that's what I got to say about that. I don't, this is being reported by, in regards to it coming from his side. They are wording it as if this is what he's asking for. So for me, I'm saying, well, if that's what he's asking for, I don't think it should be too many teams that's not willing to give him that or trade something to Phoenix to create the flexibility to bring him in at that price. You need to. There are a lot of things Phoenix needs to do. That's one of them. That is one of them. If they can get Dillon Brooks somehow at 12, you need to try to create that flexibility to get that 12. And so that's really where my head is. And I don't care that he can't shoot. He can do something. And you need people on that bench who can do something. I heard they were trying to go after John Wall. I like it. I like it. Most of the time I'll be like, what? Not for Phoenix. Do that. There's certain things that we didn't talk about in the Phoenix video that I did earlier today. Suns day, morning, NBA chat. Playing on the word on the Suns, but we talked a little bit about the Cleveland Cavaliers too. But these are the type of teams that need to be going after Dillon Brooks. Teams that don't have a whole lot of flexibility, need defensive players. Dallas, $12 million for Dillon Brooks. Miami, all of y'all teams that love defensive players, at $12 million, you can definitely use him. I don't know what this is on my head, but you see me take it off. Regardless, I do think that there are several suitors there with $12 million to give to a player of that caliber who they know, if he fits the system, could potentially be somebody you can retrade for something more. If he plays well and gets back to being a respectable player, maybe you can trade him for his highest price. And he's still a young player. If he doesn't start going through injury issues, he's going to forget all about this. And so are most of us. And so that's why I'm like, yo, Dillon Brooks is a good investment, because at the end of the day, he's humbled. So his price tag is low. He ain't going to be humbled for long. I think a team like the Celtics would love to have a guy like that. Just the grit and the nastiness of the Celtics, that is their kind of guy. And they lost Marcus Smart. They need to get him. You know what I mean? To Memphis, least of all, they should have been a part of the trade. That kind of thing. So it's like, I know he doesn't shoot the three. I know that's Missoula ball, so I got to give that some consideration. But I just think about players that his personality, the teams that would likely be able to welcome him in and enjoy what it is that he does. The Knicks at $12 million. Yeah, man. So I just wanted to come here and say that San Antonio with Wembanyama. Because the thing about this dude is he's going to have to find his confidence again, but his personality is that of a dog. You know what I mean? He just didn't show great character in the situation. He tucked his tail, and that's going to always be something on him. But it's up to him to come back and play ball, at the end of the day. it's up for him to believe that he can be better than what he displayed there. And if he don't believe that, then he's not worth 12. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I have to say about that situation. I think that's a very good player who's going to be limited in certain ways, just like anybody else. But when you consider what's needed in regards to guarding the perimeter, some of you teams that don't have any defensive players or any assets worth a damn, that's a discount about to enter the market if he really does sign a contract like that. Depending on the years on there, of course. But even if there are a lot of years, he's a young enough player to where when the contract ends, he's still just barely going to be like 30 or something like that, depending on the year. So that's a no-brainer, man. Now, if he's asking for something above that, then you start docking him. You know what I mean? You start saying, well, look at this, look at that, what just happened, you got to... But since he's coming in at a price like that, which looks like it already has all that equated into it, yeah, I think that's a discount for a lot of teams, man. I really do. So, that's pretty much what I got to say. My name is BDL44. I'll thank y'all for watching.